Hi everybody and welcome to Indigo Sky Holistic. I'm Davina, an intuitive holistic therapist and energy healer and an EFT practitioner, and that is one of the things that we are here to do today. This is a short form version of some EFT for grief and sadness, which is interesting because I am at that just a part of my own yearly cycle of just feeling into what the energy of grief is like. If you've not already seen any of the YouTube videos from the last few days, it is the 6th anniversary of my mum passing away a few years ago, 6 years ago, obviously. And all of the emotions and feelings and energies that surface for me in those few days. So they're in like my most recent videos on my channel. However, I do EFT in my group sessions for grief periodically, and there is a longer version of some EFT for grief on my website in the EFT resources section, which you gain access to if you join me for my group sessions, or you can pay separately and just get access to the library and the extra content and the bonus EFT videos that I'm adding to there as well. But this is just a taster of how I present EFT. There is various places on my website that you can find out more about EFT, how I use it, why I use it, and the tapping points. I will add a card for the EFT tapping points here so that you can find out which ones of them I use. But to keep this video short and sweet, we are jumping pretty much straight into some tapping. So grief is a big emotion. It's one that I never ever encourage anyone to try and snap out of or anything like that. It's one that I really feel requires the support and nurturing to move through, and it's very much one of those ones that is a very wavy emotion. So if you'd like more on grief, again, there's a grief, like a chat and discussion on grief that you can find elsewhere, either on my website, or I'm going to make a little bit of my most recent videos are talking a little bit about grief. So yeah, have a watch of a couple of them. But we're just going to jump into some tapping now. So taking a moment just to tune in with your own situation, where I use numbers, body parts, emotions that are aside from any grief. Please drop in those that are specific to your needs. So just going to take a moment now to close your eyes and take a breath and let out some energy, some air, sigh it out, and tune into your body. And I want you to pick a number between 1 and 10 for that grief, where 10 is really deep sadness, sorrow, loss that is you're feeling deep inside, and 1 or 0 is when you're feeling much less the sense of grief. I don't want to say happiness or joy or anything like that, because if you're in the depths of grief, it can be really difficult to imagine there's a way out or there's anything better. So for this particular EFT, like, your 1 might just be that you actually feel able to function in life and be in a more stable place. I'll say stable. So when you've got a number, then where in your body, when you take another breath in, where in your body do you feel that feeling, that sensation of your grief? And are there any other emotions as you're sat there quiet and present with yourself. Are there any other emotions that you feel are connected to this grief? Because it can bring up a great many different emotions for all of us. So again, where I use a number, a body part, or an emotion other than grief, please drop in your own reference points. You can just tap along and say what I say. That works just as well. It is also beneficial to use your own expressions and your own words to help support your own processing. So without further ado, tapping points again you can find in the other videos on my channel. So I will just jump straight into some tapping. We start on the side of the hand. Even though I have all these sensations and feelings of grief that are running through my body right now, I can feel in my heart and my stomach, I know that I am held and I am safe in this moment, and I choose to acknowledge this in my life now. Even though I feel so weighed down and burdened by my grief, I know that in this moment, right here, I am held and I am safe, and I choose to accept where I am. Even though I have so much grief pouring through my body right now, I can feel so strongly in my stomach. This level 10 grief has hold of me, and it's making me feel so much sadness and overwhelm. I know that in this moment right here, I am safe in my body, and I choose to accept where I am. Eyebrow. I have such a deep feeling of grief. The side of the eye that is just taking over my whole body. Under the eye. And the other emotions that go along with it. Under the nose. The pain, the resentment, the hurt, chin, the loss that I feel from this grief. Collarbone. I'm feeling it running through my body as I speak. Under the arm. And I know that it's just being stored in every cell. Wrists. And I know that is not serving the rest of my life. Top of the head. But it really, really hurts to know that this reason for the grief has come through me and into my life. Eyebrow. I have such a deep feeling of grief. Side of the eye. That I'm finding it hard to let go. Under the eye. And I know it's not benefiting me. Under the nose. And it's not benefiting the rest of my life. Chin. But it feels so painful inside. Collarbone. This level 9 feeling of sadness and grief. Under the arm. That I just feel in the depths of my lungs. Wrists, and I feel it in my stomach and my chest. Top of the head. I'm feeling so much loss and sadness right now. Eyebrow. That I know I'm not being served well. Side of the eye. This grief has a hold on me. Under the eye. And I know I need to let some of it go. Under the nose. Letting go of the grief doesn't mean I have to forget. Chin. The thing that I've lost. Collarbone. The thing, the individual, the situation that I've lost. Under the arm. I know I don't have to forget it to let it go. Wrists. I know I don't have to forget anybody or anything. Top of the head. But I also know to help nurture my own well-being, it's time to allow these feelings to fully process through my energy body. Eyebrow. I need to allow something to go. Side of the eye. I need to allow the emotions and the energy to process. Under the eye. So that my well-being is cared for. Under the nose. And so I can be around for everybody else who is left in my life. Chin. I need to take care of myself. Collarbone. I need to take care of myself. Under the arm. I need to take care of myself and allow this grief to move through me. Wrists. And this means taking some time, like I am now, to acknowledge how I feel. Top of the head. It really, really hurts to acknowledge how I feel, and that's why I try and shove it down and forget it somehow. Eyebrow. But in this moment, I'm allowing myself to feel the grief. Side of the eye, so that I can take care of my whole well-being. Under the eye. And know that as I process my grief, under the nose, I can begin to move into something that feels a little lighter. Chin. Because that is enough for right now. Collarbone. Feeling a little lighter at any moment is enough for right now. Under the arm. I'm not going to rush the process. Wrists. I'm just going to allow myself to be. Top of the head. And know that each time I come here and tap through this process, I allow myself to let go a little bit more of the stored grief and the stored pain, so that I can find my own better way of feeling. Take a breath in and let it go. Check in now with yourself, with how you're feeling, with any of the shifts and changes that may have come through that process, any shifts, any changes to your number, any other emotions that are coming up. Feel free to skip back to the start of the tapping and run through the process again. And again, because grief is such a deep-seated emotion, if you feel like you'd like some more support, you can either find the more in-depth tapping session on my website, or join me for a grief tapping session in my groups, or if you feel called to book a one-to-one session to help really support you and hold you through a grieving process, then you can book that on my website. The links are all down below. And if you just want to have a chat, because maybe you feel really caught in grief, but the financial exchange feels a little overwhelming, then please do drop into one of my free calls as well, and let's have a chat at how we can best support you to your financial resources. And I will see you again very soon in another EFT video. If you've enjoyed this one, please check out the others in the EFT playlist on my YouTube channel, and give it a little like and subscribe for more EFT and other emotional and holistic support content very soon. I'll see you. Bye.